Went to Central Christian College in 1979 and 80 when Central was a junior college. Been here for 125 years, and I had heard about Central. I was from the West Coast. Came here to play basketball and baseball. It was a great experience for both my wife and I. We got married while we were here, and then went to Eastern Oregon, graduated from Eastern Oregon, and went and asked the military about education. Go figure. And they said, well, how would you like to be a pilot? Never tried that before, so I joined the Air Force and was lucky enough to be chosen. I was initially selected as an instructor pilot and flew as an instructor pilot in the supersonic T-38 jet trainer that's still around today. Flew that for 4 years, and then I was selected to fly F-15 fighters. So my job in the military was to learn how to dogfight. And so it's for athletes. There was nothing better for me. And so Kathy and I started living our life in the military, and we raised our family there, and I learned how to fly F-15s. And it was a perfect fit. Flew for up to 20 years, but while I was in, of course, since I was an officer, I went to school, picked up a couple of master's degrees from the U.S. military, thankfully, and that prepared me for this job here at Central Christian, coming back 30 years later from when I was a student to where now I'm the president. My military wartime experience, I flew in Desert Storm in 1991 and then spent 2 tours in Saudi Arabia where I was one of the pilots flying in Southern Watch, if you remember those times. And that's my combat experience. I've also I worked on Capitol Hill as an Air Force liaison to the Secretary of Defense. I've been a commander, and that was probably the highlight of my career, to be a squadron commander and support group commander, where I got to actually lead teams to serve. In terms of flying time, I have almost 4,000 hours total as a pilot. Most of that time, of course, was in T-38s and F-15s, but I also have several different qualifications as a glider pilot and as a glider tow pilot, and I even own an airplane called the Belanca Super Viking, and I probably have 400 hours in small airplanes, and I still get to fly those to get my flying fix today here in McPherson. If you are interested at all in aviation, then you need to consider Central Christian for a couple of really valid reasons. One, we have offered an undergraduate flying degree for 40 years, and every year we graduate at least 2 or 3 pilots. So we know what we're doing. We're connected to the local CFIs here in McPherson, and you can get everything you need right here to go out and do aviation business, aviation flying, aviation weather, aviation safety, everything you can get right here. The other consideration, since we are a Christian university, Christian school, is the idea that out in the mission field today, they need aviators, they need mechanics, they need people that move supplies. And so we are now offering a degree that couples aviators with missionaries. It's called the aviation science degree, but it's really tailored to those people who may want to use their gifts out in the world in either aviation or a combination of aviation and ministry. On 9/11 that morning, I was in Colorado Springs at the Air Force Academy, and I was getting ready to do a takeoff to teach a student on his solo flight how to do, it was a soaring flight where he was in the front and I was in the back seat in a glider, and I was taking him up. And the call I heard when we were sitting in the takeoff position, that's where we were, was, "Sir, you're not cleared for takeoff. Cancel your takeoff clearance." And I'd never heard that before. "What are you guys doing? Why?" And they told us on the radio that there was a national all-stop. That call had never been made in the history of aviation in America, in which they grounded the entire country, and it took 20 minutes to put every airplane on the ground. So that was my when I first became aware of the Twin Tower situation. And then, of course, everybody in my squadron went inside and we started watching it on television. And right then, that day, we knew that as military officers, things were going to fundamentally change. One of the things that you learn if you were here how to operate the Cub. And you're going to need those skills because those are the kind of airplanes that are around the world used every day today for aviation. And you'll learn how to fix them, you'll learn how to start them, you'll learn how to operate them. You'll, no kidding, learn how to use that tool to reach other people around the world. If you are getting ready to be discharged from the military right now, or in the very near future, now is the time to link up with us at Central Christian. We're the place to go for you to use your VA benefits, use the GI Bill, use all the experience that you gained in the military, transfer those credits, and we will help you do it so that you are prepared to get, within a year to a year and a half, your 4-year degree completed so you can get out in the job market. Don't wait any longer.